Right, people, I was in bed. My room's a mess. I've literally just turned my camera on, right? So give me a minute. But I want to talk about the R9. Everyone's talking about it. I want to piggyback on the back of it because it gets views. So we're talking about the R9. Let's try and grab some views. No, but genuinely, though, I keep seeing it everywhere, all over Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and everyone's hating on it. And I haven't looked into it properly. I've seen a photo of it, obviously, but I haven't looked into it crazy detailed wise to see what it's actually about and what it's even like. So I don't even know. We're just gonna have a little look. So let's type it in, and then I'll give you my honest opinion of what I think, because I've not got a biased opinion. I'm not following the crowd. I will, if I like it, oh yeah, sick. That's what I want to type in. Ronaldo, sick. Yamaha R9. See, I've already googled it, but because I've seen it before. So here we go. This is the photo I saw. To me, that looks cool. Yeah, and if you're saying it's not, I think you're just hating for the sake of hating, because that looks all right from this angle. Don't get me wrong, I've seen some other angles which look terrible, like this one. That looks disgusting. Obviously, that's bad pixelated, but that looks a bit like some plastic toy. But this one, that looks all right. I actually don't mind that. Looks pretty cool. What's wrong with that? Why is everyone saying it looks stupid? But there is some bits I do get. Like, there's a photo somewhere where you can see the engine inside, and it's like this tiny little engine with these massive fairings around it, and you can just like see through it, and it just looks a bit stupid. I like this quarter angle, but I think from the front, it does look a bit silly. Where is it? Like this angle, it starts to look a bit worse the further forward you go. You can see through the kind of engine a little bit. But from the side, from this first quarter panel, based on looks, I don't mind it. It ain't that bad. I think it's a bit... I think what happens nowadays is everyone just, like, when it's trendy to hate on something, everyone hates on something. I think it's one of those. And no one actually looks into it and has their own self-opinion of what they think. They just follow what it's cool to follow. And obviously it's cool to hate on it right now. Don't get me wrong, I've had my fair share of being like, I don't really like it. Because I'm still not sold fully. I'm still a bit like, looks a bit like the headlight. It looks a bit stupid. But in general, I'm always changing my mind. Do you know what I mean? I'm not ever married to an opinion and be that person that like defends that opinion until they die. If I get proven wrong or something else happens, or I like finds another angle that I like this, I like the look of this. I actually like the look of that. I remember seeing the first photos, which were like these ones, and I was like, because it just looks like plasticky and like a toy. I think it's the front end in these winglets here that just put it off for me directly from the front. But the side angle, I quite like. The headlight, a bit weird. Like, it just looks like a bulb. Like, you could probably break that on your first ride because it's just going to get hit. The bulb's a bit weird. They should have just kept these side lights and then integrated that in. But I guess they're trying new stuff. It does look quite cool without mirrors as well, to be fair. I do like it without mirrors. But in terms of looks, I would say it looks all right. It ain't bad. That looks pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? I just think all new bikes, though, they just look plasticky. Like my bike, obviously, is old, it's heavy, it's got big steel bits, not steel bits, like big aluminium bits of like framing and stuff like that. But they still do look just a bit more like, I wouldn't say premium, but they just look like they're made out of proper materials. These newer bikes, like the R3s and stuff like that, they just look like plastic. Like they look like plastic toys, like the black plastics all over it, and then the actual bodywork and the just flat paints. There's no fun decals. They do just look like toys out of a box that you just put on there and you're looking at them. Whereas like my bike or older bikes, they've got a bit more character to them. They just look a bit more, I don't know what the word is. But it's only these sorts of bikes. Like there are some obviously newer bikes like the R1s and stuff like that look absolutely mint. But some of these older ones, they just sort of, I don't know. They just go for like this weird plastic vibe, which I get because it's obviously mass produced. So they can easily, like the M207s, that's a good example. The M207s are great, but they just look cheap. And like they feel cheap, and like there's just plastics everywhere, and it just looks like it's not worth a lot, which is not always the end game. But you know what I mean? It just looks like they've sort of been a bit lazy with it. Obviously, the MT09 steps that up anyway, and the MT10 to a lot more premium build. But definitely the MT07 goes for that sort of cheap vibe, which is what I'm getting a little bit from this R9. There was a black version somewhere. Is that it? I think that's the black version. The black version looks sick. If this is it. Is that the R9? Yamaha R9? Yeah. So the black version looks mint because it covers away all those cheap plasticky, like the blue just exposes a lot of the cheapness, if that makes sense. Whereas the black one, it just looks way cooler. It makes everything look more premium in general, and it gets rid of that cheap plasticky look. So I think the black one is probably going to sell more than the blue one, to be honest. That looks sick. I've got no issues with that at all, but I don't see the winglets on this one. So yeah, looks-wise, I would say I like it. I wouldn't say I love it. It looks sick. I just like it. It looks all right. It looks quite cool, especially from this angle. So that's what we'll say for looks. Next, we'll go to the engine, the R9 engine, which is obviously from the MT-09. Pretty sure it's the exact same engine. I'm no stat person, do you know what I mean? So I'm probably going to get all of this wrong. So let's just type in R9 stats, because I ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. But I'm pretty sure it's the same engine as the MT-09, which I watched on the dyno the other day, and it made 108 horsepower. So what we got here? This is Newton meters. That's the torque. Where's the horsepower? Let's just type in the horsepower. I want to see what it makes. I think it is going to be the same. Why is it not just telling me there? 117 horsepower. They always do this from factory. Obviously, that's like straight to the crank probably, and it's like in a proper sort of when they're making it on like some sort of weird dyno thing. Those numbers never really correlate to real life, to be honest. Like the double R's that I'm looking at, the 600 double R's, they're supposed to make 118 brake horsepower. They make about 110 max. Do you know what I mean? On an actual dyno. So you've got to take at least 8 to 10 horsepower off whatever they say from factory. So let's just say it's the same as the MT-09. It's going to be about 108 to 110 horsepower. So it's going to be quick. But obviously the MT-09s are known for being like torquey. And they sound good because obviously it's a triple. So it's going to sound good. It's going to wheelie like crazy, just like the R7. But it's probably going to have a little bit more power than the R7, because obviously the R7 is a bit dead. It's literally the one thing that everyone talks about is the speed. It just lacks in that top end speed. So let's have a look what this is. 145. That's respectable. Do you know what I mean? It's not every day you're going to be going 145. You don't need to do that everywhere. I don't think you'll buy this bike to do highway runs on. You'll buy this bike to go on back roads, power wheelie out of corners, get that nice torque off the line, have a bit of fun with it, and then if you need to blast it, you can blast it to 145. So it's just how quick it gets there to whether you'll get left behind by like bigger sport bikes. It's like Greg's 650. It does about 145 miles an hour, but it takes a while to get there, and we end up overtaking him. Just is what it is. It's a little bit slower. I don't know how much horsepower it is actually. I think it might be 105 as well, or 110. Oh no, maybe even 97 as well, same as mine. But it's just not as fast as our sport bikes. And I've got a feeling that this might be the same. But then I've ridden with MT-09s and they're quick. Mr. Braps had one all around Brazil and he ripped it, mate. It was quick. So I don't think there's going to be an issue with that. I think it will get up to speed quickly. It might just top out quickly. Power-wise, engine-wise, I think it'll be fine. It's one of those ones. I even said it ages ago. It was like, oh, one day I hope they just make a fairing version of the MT-09. Loads of people were saying it. Come on, just make a fairing version of the MT-09. They've done that, and now because it's just like a straight copy over with literally fairings on top of it, everyone's kicking off. It's like, yeah, but everyone was saying to do that in the first place, so why are you now moaning that it's literally the same engine? We always said just throw some fairings on it and let us have a sport bike version of the MT-09. So that's the thing that I saw, that I was like, why is everyone suddenly changing their tuning? Because everyone was literally saying, just give us a fairing version of the MT-09. The reason it came about, obviously, was because of that World Superbike Championship thing. They have to make a production bike that everyone can buy before they can obviously use it in that championship. So that's why we got it, because there was a certain team or something that wanted to bring the R9 into it. I think that's what it is. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that is it. Let's have a little look at this. I just want to see some B-roll of it. Is there a release trailer of it? So look, these guys have got one. It looks cool in real life. Like in real life, it looks clean. Do you know what I mean? Like you can see the plasticky black bits here that are not as cool, and you can see the small little engine behind. But it looks all right. Do you know what I mean? Like actually walking around it and seeing it in person. Don't look half better. They're going to start it. No. Like even the yoke and stuff like that looks nice. Like that looks actually quite premium. Like some of the other ones, like the MTO 7 and stuff like that, I've got like plasticky bits and they just don't look as cool. That looks all right. That looks nice and clean. I'm a fan. This is a bit of a shot from the underneath. This is actually quite a good video because you can really see. It's obviously got your big old Euro 5 systems and stuff to try and get rid of the emissions, which will all be ripped off and straight pipes. I don't know why they do it anyway. It's a complete waste of time. But yeah, it's got a bit of a bulky thing underneath. You got the suspension. It's got Brembos on it. That's the thing. This bike's got so much tech on it, like that you would pay normally like 10 grand for. Obviously, these bikes are like 12 grand, but I'm talking about second hand. Obviously, you have to wait for them to be that cheap second hand, so they're probably also going to be about 10k. But they are full of like tech that you'd get on like a ZX10. So for like an entry level bike that you like want to ride, but you want to have loads of tech for, this is great, obviously, because it's got loads of different modes, loads of different tech. It's got different traction modes, different riding modes. It's got loads of stuff. That's the weird headlight. I don't really know why they've done that. It looks a bit stupid, but I guess they want to try something. Yeah, it's got loads and loads and loads of tech for like a small sort of 600 like this, which is obviously very good for people that want to be nice and safe and have loads of different aids. It's got a digital dash, which looks sick. Like, that looks pretty cool. In general, it ain't bad. Do you know what I mean? In general, watching it now, especially from an angle like this, where you can really, really see it, like the tail light, and it's a nice bike. It's not horrendous. Would I probably get one? Probably not. It's not really a bit of me. More just engine wise, probably. Well, I don't know actually. Maybe I would. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. But it is a nice looking bike. I do think it's getting a lot of unnecessary hate for the sake of it. It looks clean. It looks cool. That's kind of what I think. But in my honest opinion, I think it looks all right. Probably won't get it because I can't afford it. But if I could afford it, probably wouldn't get it. It's not really a bit of me. But I think it looks cool from certain angles. I've not really got a hatred towards it like some people have. Some people are like, oh, I hate it. It's like, whoa, mate, chill out. Yeah, let me know what you think. I don't know. Is it getting too much hate? Is it going to be terrible? I might have missed some things maybe that are wrong with it. I don't really go into all the deep stats. Like, I know there's like, it's apparently supposed to be like the lightest sport bike or something like that, due to like the way they've made the frame and things, and maybe they've used parts from the other bikes that I haven't realised, like the swing arm and stuff like that, or the frame. I think the frame's brand new. I think they said it's not a carbon copy of the MT-09 one. So, yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd make that just to have a look, see what you guys think. Anyway, that's the R9. I jumped on the bandwagon and talking about it. See you later. Let me know if you want me to do this for another bike, because I've never done this before, this type of video. So if you want me to do this again, I'll have a first impression sort of look, deep dive into a bike that I don't really know much about. I'm down.